Hello friends, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Elise, and this is my mystical bookshelf. Technically it's my mystical spooky bookshelf. This is spooky season, and I'm back. It has been way too long. I've been busy. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be kind of a rough first video. I'm not used to doing this like I was before, but I will get back to it and into the swing of things eventually. So this video is gonna be kind of not book related. I've been really bad about reading because I just started my job last week, and I'm not to the point where I feel comfortable listening to a book while I'm working. And I have a 12-hour shift. So it's kind of like, it's a little hard not to be listening to something just because that's what I'm used to doing. But I'll get there. Eventually I'll get there. So yeah, we're in Florida. I've got my bookshelf set up. This is my new area. I do have a chair, but I like to sit on the floor. I'm a sitting on the floor kind of girl. That's just how I like to roll. So on the floor we shall be. And so for this first video, I'm gonna talk about something that my husband and I did yesterday, and it was Halloween Horror Night related. It is Unmasking the Horror. We did a tour with 3 houses, and it was Hellraiser was the first house. Then we did Alien Invasion. That was the second house. And the third house, which was by far my favorite, Blood and Guts, HR Blood and Guts to be exact. And let's see. I'll post pictures at the end of this video. So if you don't want spoilers, if you just want to hear me talk about it, or you don't want pictures, don't watch until the end. So yeah, yesterday was our first time ever doing that. This is our second year going to Halloween Horror Nights, HHN, if you will. And I'm super stoked. Last year was so much fun. We only did it for one night, and I would say that was like, don't do that. If you have time and money to do more than one night, I would suggest doing more than one night, because doing one night was literally like torture, because it was so hot. It was so long. We stayed until the very end, and my dogs were barking. My friends. I looked at it yesterday because I was curious. Because yesterday we walked 13,000 steps. And that's a lot in Florida when it's really, 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 really hot. And I felt like I was gonna die. And I was like curious about how much we walked last year for HHN. And we walked 31,000 steps. So it's like almost triple the 13. And I'm like, what? This is crazy. I'm gonna need to wear a hat or something, or stay hydrated. I'm gonna have to carry a fan. I'm not built for this type of weather. And it's funny I say that because now we live in Florida, but this is like the hottest time of the year. So if we can do this, we can do anything. Actually, exactly. So yeah, it was really hot, but it was super fun. Our tour started at 11:30 a.m. and it was like 3 hours. It lasted until like 2, so maybe it was like 2.5 hours. But it was so cool to walk through the house with a tour guide. Our tour guide's name was David, and he was fabulous. If any HHN people are watching or happen to stumble upon my channel, they will know who I'm talking about. He's been doing it for like 20 years. He's super nice. He was super funny. He was making lots of great, like, terrible dad jokes, and I loved it. It was awesome. He made a great experience. And I really think that the tour guide is what makes the experience so like fun, because they are cracking jokes, they want to answer your questions, they love HHN as much as we do, and it's just fun interacting with other people. Because there was like, so it was me and my husband. I think our group had like 12 people in it, so there was other people there, and everyone was very nice. We actually got to see some other content creators. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Losh TV. We saw him. And we saw another guy who does content creation, and I can't remember his name. So I'm so sorry about that, sir. Because we do watch your channel. We watched your channel before. But I can't remember your name for the life of me. I only knew the Losh TV guy. I don't even know his real name, but his channel's Losh TV. So we saw him, and it was super fun. And we also met this other girl who was giving out friendship bracelets, which I thought was very sweet. But everybody was like really chill in the group, and we just walked through the houses like normal with the lights on, and David had a flashlight so we could see other props and stuff. And the first one we went through was Hellraiser. That was the one IP that we went through. And if you love the Hellraiser franchise, I highly, highly, highly recommend you go to this event just for that house. I really, really think this is like fan-made, fan love. It's for the fans. It is for people who are like die-hard Hellraiser people. And it goes through 1, 2, and 3. So my husband and I, we did our due diligence, and we watched the movies before we moved. It was sometime in June or July. I think it was around July. I think before we went to Michigan on our vacation. It was somewhere around that time. But we watched the movies, and it's really faithful. This house is very faithful to the movies. It's so cool. And especially like there's one room where it's Frank's torment, and it looks exactly like the movie. It's crazy. I don't think we could take pictures during that part of the house, because there was specific parts where you could take pictures, and David would tell you if you could or couldn't. So I don't think that was a part where we could take pictures. But mark my words, friends, it was fabulous. It looked exactly like the movie, with like those 3 ghostly women, and they're like being salacious. That was a fun word that David introduced to me. I mean, I know the word salacious. I just don't use it very often. So they were like, that was the salacious part. So that was cool. And some of the mannequins, like, oh my gosh, they look so realistic. It's crazy. It's crazy how realistic they look. Like, they look like real people. So, like, when you're going through the house and you're like, it's dark, you're going to totally think it's real people, but it's not. They're mannequins. And the facade of going into the cube thing, whatever it's called, I can't remember what it's called. It looks like a Rubik's Cube, but it's like gold. It has like incantations on it. It looks really cool. Like you're walking into this cube of pain and pleasure, and it's so cool. It is literally amazing. So yeah, that was the first house that we walked through, and it was amazing. I'm so excited. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be crazy. I can't wait to see the Cenobites in real life. They're gonna have the main ones. They're gonna have Pinhead. They're gonna have the female Cenobite, and they're gonna have Butterball, and they're gonna have the chattering one, the one that looks like he has rat's teeth and he's chattering. Yeah, so David went through all of the movie lore and the movie history with us. You're gonna walk through the boiler room in this one. You're gonna walk through the part where you meet J.P. Morgan, I think that's his name. Don't quote me on that. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. But, yeah, the one guy who is, like, taking advantage of women a lot. You go through that. And there's going to be lots of good scares in this house, I think. It's very atmospheric. David said they're using this new technology for this house. And, I mean, he jokingly said it was his idea, because he had all the best ideas, apparently. I thought that was cute that he said all that. It was like, he was ad-libbing as he was talking. It was very nice. And yeah, so this house, it was great. I can't wait to actually walk through it on opening night, which is next Friday. I'm so excited. I'm really glad that I have the weekend off, because right now for my work, I don't work weekends right now, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, so next week is opening weekend, and it's going to be super fun. And then the second house we went through was the alien invasion, and the facade for that house looks really cool as well. You're like going through this, I don't know what to call it, like a garden shed, I think is what it is. And it's like this family in the 1950s, that's what David was saying. And they're like trying to prepare for every possible like worst case scenario. It made it seem like they were prepared for a lot of weird things to happen, but they weren't prepared for alien invasions. Like, oh, God forbid you are not prepared for an alien invasion. So they weren't prepared for that. So you walk through this shed, and then you see Grandpa. He got killed, or yeah, he got unalived by an alien. The aliens in this house, David was saying, are called the Greys. So they're like, they look really creepy and like small. Like some of them are tiny. Like when you first walk in the house, I noticed, my husband pointed it out to me, when you look up in the shed area, there's like this alien in the corner, and he's like giving you the stinky face. He is looking at you with disdain. Like he does not like humans. He wants to not make you not be here. He wants to capture you. That's what is going on. And you're gonna see like these mannequins getting raised up with light beams and whatnot. And then David said they did this new thing where there's gonna be a vibrating floor, so that's gonna be kind of cool. And there's this one scene where there's this little girl's bedroom. Her name's Renee, and you can see her legs dangling, and I thought that was really cool. And oh my gosh, excuse me. And it's adorable because you can see her wearing a little nightgown and her little cow slippers. Like, you know how cows are always associated with like UFOs, and like the cow jumped over the moon and stuff like that. So she's wearing cow slippers, and her room looks cute. It's got this like bed frame that's like wonky, and it looks like it's getting torn apart. And then poor Renee is getting captured, and it's not like a full mannequin of a little girl, it's just her legs. But he said there's gonna be like effects where it's like the lights are on, and she's like, her legs are dangling and vibrating and like moving back and forth and stuff. So it's gonna be really cool. And then you walk through the kitchen of this house, and that was really cool. The kitchen looked really good. It looked very realistic, and of course it did. And there's like Easter eggs in the house on the fridge. So like when you're walking through it, you're gonna see this fridge, and there's like sticky notes all over it. There's one sticky note that David said is referencing Dr. Oddfellow, and it's like the phone number to call him is like 9126 like 35, and that's like 91 is when HHN first started, 35 is the anniversary year, 26 is the year it's taking place. So yeah, it was really cool. I love David. He did some great narration of all these houses. It was fabulous, super fabulous. And then the third house was my favorite. I love vintage Halloween, like the old nostalgic Halloween, like how my earrings are kind of like vintage looking jack-o'-lanterns. That's kind of the vibe of HR Blood and Guts. So David was explaining the story. So anyone who doesn't know who HR Blood and Guts is, he's a Creature Feature host. And that means, I didn't know what Creature Feature meant, but Creature Feature, I guess, means that he hosts a show that shows bad horror films. So like really like cheesy films, that's the kind of stuff that a Creature Feature person hosts, and they like make fun of it as the movie airs. Like during the commercials, they'll like do a little stand-up routine and like make fun of the movie and stuff. So you're walking through a bunch of different Halloween Creature Feature films, and it's so cool. There's little areas where there's an old school TV, like if anyone's grandma had like a TV like that, it kind of reminds me of my grandma's house. Like there's little interludes in between the house, in between the little rooms for the movies. So like you'll go through one room and there's vintage decorations hanging up. And one part in the house that was so cool was this tiki bar room with these monsters having drinks. And there's going to be a werewolf scare actor coming in, getting a drink. And there's a mummy sitting on the corner. And then there's a mermaid sitting on this side. And I have a picture of the mermaid. My husband, that was one of the rooms you could take pictures in. So my husband took pictures for me because I suck at taking pictures. So, because he took a photography class, he knows what he's doing. I do not. I was just trying to pay as much attention as possible. And he's better at multitasking than me. So he took pictures, and he took a picture of the mermaid. It looks like a mermaid and the Black Lagoon, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and a mermaid like put together. So it was really cool looking, and it was fun because Lash came up behind my husband, and he was carrying this green light thingy. So he was like, "Here, there you go," and it's got this really nice green light on the mermaid. So it like really showcases her scales and her hair, and she looks beautiful and scary all at the same time. And the tiki bar room kind of reminds me of Jock Lindsay's at Disney Springs. Like, you know how Disney Springs, Jock Lindsay, they do the Halloween hanger bar? So that area reminds me of that totally, and it was amazing. And then there's another part in the house where it's like a black and white film. And David was saying this is kind of poking fun at the Night of the Living Dead, and it's like parody of the film, and it's like everything's black and white in that little room. And there's this teenager guy wearing a 1950s like sports jacket, and this girl is gonna come in and scream like with her hands on her face, and it's gonna be really cheesy. And I love that house. I'm going to go through it. We're going to go through it like 5 or more than 5 times at least. We're probably going to go through it a lot during the season because since we live here, oopsies, I moved my camera. Since we live here now, we got a frequent fear pass, so we're going to try and do the houses a lot. And it's going to be fun. And we're going to go real hard on the opening weekend. We got a hotel for Friday and Saturday, and it's going to be amazing. I'm super stoked. And yeah, so for HR Blood and Guts, you're just following this guy, the prison person, because he was in prison. HR got arrested in the last iteration of this house. So you're following him throughout these creature features, and in the end you see that he did not get captured by the police. He ended up unaliving like 3 of the police officers. So that was kind of funny. We couldn't take pictures of that part, unfortunately, but it looked funny. And then the last little scare before you leave the house is like there's this curtain that says "Stay tuned," and David said that the scare actor who's playing HR is gonna open it and be like, "See you next time," and he's gonna scare the pants off of you. But yeah, those were the houses. And David did a great job explaining everything. He was super chill, very cool, super nice. He made a great experience for us, to be honest. And I would totally do it again. It was kind of expensive. It was like $150 per person, so it was like $300 for both of us to do it. But I think it was worth it. I really do think it was worth it. They also do a 6-house one that's way more expensive, but I think that would even be more worth it. Because then you can see like half of the houses instead of just 3. So I think it would be really cool. I think next year, if we save up some money and, you know, we're very frugal with what we do, I think we can do the 6-house one next time. And I think it'd be, oh my gosh, I think it'd be really fun. But yeah, that was our experience. It was amazing. I would totally recommend doing it if you are an HHN fan. And yeah, that was our experience. This is going to be my first video coming at ya on the 23rd. So, we are back, my friends. We are back. And next week, I will be reviewing a book. I'm either going to review Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison, or I'm going to review 11/22/63 by Mr. Stephen King himself. It was amazing. That was an amazing book. I listened to it. It was fab. But yeah, that's how what you can look forward to in the next 3 videos. So we got this one, and then 2 more books, and then I'm gonna get started on reading more, because I've been neglecting my reading quite a bit. I have a lot of books on my backlog. I need to catch up a lot. But nonetheless, and at the end of this video, instead of my outro, I'm going to show some pictures, so if you don't want to watch that, you can click off now. So thank you, friends. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!